here on what I like to call the world stage, we have some moves being made that, whether people want to admit it or not, are big time moves that are unfolding here globally. They have been. All of these moves being made by China, stacking up throughout the years to where now they are positioning themselves to be the country that steps up. If anything was to happen to the United States at this point, if the U.S. was to fall, if the dollar was to fall, no matter how it came about, China is the ones that are going to step up here globally, here on this world stage, with their currency already in the IMF basket, with them buddied up with everyone across the aisle from the United States, and with them making a lot of moves like the Silk Road #2, moving into Pakistan, where they could send troops from China into Pakistan, into Iran, all the way up into Turkey in one big move. And right now, we have them saying, look, we're going to put these additional fares, which range from 15 to 25%, which take effect today, on goods. Now, the statement says that China has suspended duty concessions on imported goods originating from the U.S. and has imposed a duty rate of 15% on 120 items of import, such as fruits and products. The tariff rate for 8 items of imported goods, such as pork and food products, is now 25%. It says China's current tax-free and tax exemption policy remains unchanged, adding that this move comes in compliance with multilateral trading mechanisms and rules from the World Trade Organization. Now, of course, this is going back and forth here, accusing one another here between the United States and China of doing this or that, but at the same time, we have it affecting other parts of the market. We see a rise in gold here. They're saying that this has surged to over $8, or it surged over $8 per troy ounce, bringing it to $1,335 on the price. And they're saying that this back and forth is going to fuel this. So as China's introduced these tariffs of up to 25%, hammering 128 U.S. products, this takes it to a new level. People are not going to start to see the effects of this till down around the corner. Gold is already starting to make its move upward. And this all comes from Trump calling out China and saying, hey, you've been stealing intellectual property rights of the United States for a long time. And they have been, whether you like Trump or not. They have been. They've been jacking everything from cartoons to electronics, any name brand, anything popular, copycatting it, using it as their own, and mass producing it behind their firewall there in China, where no one in that country is seeing any of these YouTube videos, or anyone else that's in any of these other free countries, freer than China. Now, this world stage and freedom and sellout political individuals that sell their people out here, their whole countries. So it's got everything into the position of where it's sitting at right now. Them selling people out en masse. And it is the big difference. But as of right now, this back and forth between the two, China firing back in terms of this, with gold spiking, Russia and China, no strangers to trying to hoard gold. Who even knows what we've got in our Fort Knox vault? They went to go open it up. And China continues to position themselves to try to be the dominant power here on planet Earth if anything happens to the U.S. These are things I think people need to stop and think about. And it does you no good if your own politicians in whatever country you're in have sold you out to the Chinese, does it? How does that make you feel then? That means it's going to be pulled out from underneath of you. Sold out by your own kind. It's going to make it easy for them. And that's sick. You people better take a good look around you and see who's doing what, who's selling what. You should already know and see that China's buying all the debt from the you have been for the longest time. They've slowed it down. The Federal Reserve and them have both put the brakes on it, which raised more questions. Now they've completely stopped using the U.S. dollar in a lot of different trade things. They're now using their yuan backing their contracts in it, along with oil and gold. In a move that some are saying is unprecedented. Any other country's ever tried to do that, you know what's happened. But yet they can't muscle that on China. So it's back and forth, and I'm telling you, in your lifetime, if there's any country out there that is a threat to the freedom of the United States of America and to any other country out there around them, in my opinion, it's China. And the reason being is because they have to feed their people. They're already busting at the seams. Their new emperor for life, Xi Jinping, is going to be around for a long while. And they plan on dominating, even if they have to fight a bloody battle. That is what he said out of his own mouth. Your mainstream media wants to ignore that. I'm not. I see where this is headed. I see that if politicians sell us out to those same Chinese and they pull the carpet out from underneath of us and this whole thing comes down, well, for a new world order that wanted to take your freedoms and your guns and everything anyway, they get everything they ever wanted. Can't you see that? And the Chinese would be just the ones to do it. Hell, they took the guns from their own people, and then when 20 million of them didn't like it, they killed them all. Some of you that do not know your history are doomed to repeat it in a different way. Anyhow, here on this world stage, China continuing to fire back at the U.S., this time with more tariffs. And we'll see what the Trump administration comes up with to counter, or how far this is going to go. I mean, they can only go so far with this before it really starts to spill over and everyone's going to start to feel the effects of this. And let's not get it twisted. We get a lot of cheap electronics from China. They get a lot of food from us. Now, it would do them no good to nuke a country that they're getting most of the food from, a breadbasket, so to speak. It would make more sense to occupy it. Because they have to feed their people. They want gold. Not dollars, gold. Don't forget it. I'm going to leave a link. It's been Dabu7.